Barcelona fight to protect Yamal as PSG launch an aggressive transfer push. Arsenal lead, but Man City are closing in, again. Salah's explosive interview shocks Liverpool and throws the entire season into chaos. Real Madrid fall flat to Celta. Fans question coaching future. Brew your tea. The latest football news is here. This is Top League. Let's go! All right, let's talk about what's happening at the top of the Premier League. Arsenal are 2 points clear of Man City at the top of the table. Aston Villa are 1 point behind City in third place after their dramatic 2-1 win over Arsenal on Saturday. Sounds good for Arsenal, right? Maybe. But here's the problem. Man City have a history of catching Arsenal. And it's not just history, it's repeated history. In the last 3 seasons when Arsenal have been top of the table after 12 games, they've never won the title. And who won? Yeah, Man City. Every single time. This season, Arsenal were 6 points clear after 12 games. That's a good sign, right? Historically, yes. No team has previously failed to win the title after being 6 points clear at that stage. But for Arsenal, it's a different story. The last 3 times they've been top after 12 games, City reeled them in to finish as champions. Since their 4-1 win over Tottenham on November 23rd, Arsenal have collected just 4 points from a possible 9. A 1-1 draw at Chelsea, a routine 2-0 win over Brentford, then the loss at Villa. And Man City? 3 wins in a row over Leeds, Fulham, and Sunderland. The gap has shrunk from 7 points to just 2 in 3 games. And here's what makes it worse. Arsenal are hitting a defensive injury crisis. William Saliba, Gabriel Magalhaes, and Christian Mosquera are all out. Meanwhile, Erling Haaland is running clear in the Golden Boot race with 15 goals in 15 games. Pep Guardiola will have money to spend in January, and no one has more experience guiding a team through the second half of the season than Pep. Mikel Arteta has assembled Arsenal's strongest squad since the 2003-2004 Invincibles. They've been the best and most consistent team in the Premier League this season. But they held the same status in 2022-2023 and 2023-24, and each time, City reined them in to finish as champions. Arsenal haven't beaten any of their title rivals this season, lost at Liverpool and Villa, drew with City and Chelsea. They don't have a player like Haaland who can win tight games. 4 players share their top scorer spot with just 4 goals each. So, the question is simple. Can Arsenal hold their nerve this time? Can they finally overcome the psychological hurdle of City breathing down their necks? Time will tell, but history is not on their side. All right, remember Carlos Baleba, the young Brighton midfielder Man U wanted in the summer? Yeah, that guy. Last summer, United almost signed him. They even agreed personal terms with the player. Everything was set. But Brighton wanted 114 million euros. 114. Man United said, no thanks, and walked away. Now there's a fresh twist. Brighton have lowered the price, down to 85 million euros. That's still a lot of money, but it's 29 million less than in the summer. And the deal is back on the table. According to Sky Sports Switzerland reporter Sacha Tavalieri, Brighton are willing to sell Baleba if they receive an offer worth 85 million euros. And Man United? They're still interested. And here's the best part. Baleba still wants to join Man United. It's his priority for 2026. Personal terms are already agreed from the summer, so if Man United pay the 85 million euros, this deal could happen fast. But there's competition. Bayern Munich have reportedly emerged as surprise suitors for Baleba, with questions over Leon Goretzka's future in Bavaria. But Tavalieri says Man United remains the player's priority, so United have the advantage. Baleba has had a tough start to this season after the failed summer move. He's 21 years old, plays as a defensive midfielder, and Ruben Amorim sees him as a key player for his system. Man United are also looking at other midfielders, Elliot Anderson from Nottingham Forest and Adam Wharton from Crystal Palace. But Baleba remains in their top 3 targets. So what's next? If Man United are serious about finishing top 4 this season, They need a new midfielder. Baleba is young, talented, and already wants to join Man United. Brighton have lowered the price. Personal terms are agreed. Everything is in place. There's only one question left. Will Man United pay the 85 million euros? Come summer 2026, we'll find out.
But hold on. Speaking of Man United and Bayern Munich, there's another story brewing between these two clubs. And this one involves one of United's most talented young players. Stick around. Here's the irony. Man United are looking for a midfielder, and Bayern Munich want to steal one of their best young midfielders. His name? Kobbie Mainoo. Sources confirm Bayern have opened direct talks with Mainoo's representatives. And the Bundesliga giants feel confident that the 20-year-old England international would be open to a move to the Allianz Arena. There, he could reunite with England captain Harry Kane and thrive under Vincent Kompany's system. Why would Mainoo want to leave? Because his situation at Man United is a nightmare. In last Wednesday's 1-1 draw with West Ham, Mainoo was unused. Unused! This season, he's amassed just 171 Premier League minutes, mostly as a substitute. Ruben Amorim simply won't play him. And it's insane. On Friday, Man United legend Paul Scholes destroyed Amorim for his treatment of Mainoo. The kid is being ruined, not being played in a team that can't control a game of football, Scholes wrote on social media. Hate seeing homegrown players leave, but it's probably best for him now. Enough is enough. Enough is enough. Paul Scholes said enough is enough. And what did Amorim say? I see him as a starter, like the other players. I just have to make a choice, and then in the end, it's not been Kobbie. Maybe in the future. I just want to win games. I don't care who is playing. Scholes called that bullshit in an Instagram post that he later deleted. Man United fans are furious too. Gary Neville noted real dejection on the faces of fans after the West Ham game. A journalist asked Amorim why he didn't bring on Mainoo as an attacking option. Amorim laughed when he heard Mainoo's name. He just laughed. Bayern feel they can sign Mainoo permanently in January. Contract talks with Man United have stalled. The player is frustrated, and Amorim keeps insisting on squad depth but faces mounting pressure. Let's be real here. Man United spent 250 million euros last summer. They're at the brink of their financial power. They need to sell before they can buy. And according to ESPN, 4 players are on Amorim's axe list. Mainoo, Joshua Zirkzee, Manuel Ugarte, and Tyrell Malacia. Mainoo is an academy graduate. He's English. He's 20 years old. And Bayern are ready to take him because Man United won't play him. This is absolute madness. And if it happens, it'll be one of Man United's biggest mistakes in recent years. All right, let's get into this because Alejandro Garnacho has officially decided to stir the pot. In a fresh interview, he said that leaving Manchester United for Chelsea was an easy decision. Easy. Let that sink in for a second. The kid who was supposed to be one of United's brightest future stars, one of the most electric wingers at Old Trafford, just admitted he had zero doubts about jumping ship, and he didn't whisper it, he served it like a cold dish in front of millions. Garnacho explained that Chelsea's project made more sense for him, and that he felt he hit a ceiling under United's chaos. To be fair, you can't blame him. Every season at United lately feels like the same movie. New coach, new promises, same confusion. Meanwhile, Chelsea, for all their own madness, actually gave him a clear role and immediate trust. What really stings for United fans is how casually he said it. No, it was difficult. No, United is special. Just easy decision, thanks for everything, moving on. That's the type of breakup message you send when you're already dating someone else. From Chelsea's perspective, this is gold. Garnacho has been one of their most dynamic players since arriving, and his confidence is skyrocketing.
The club feels like it won a jackpot. A young star who actually wants to be there, believes in the project, and fits their chaos to order evolution. United supporters, though, man, they're not taking this lightly. Losing him was already painful, but hearing him openly say that leaving was a no-brainer, that's salt, lemon, and chili powder on the wound. Here's the real point for me. This moment says more about Manchester United than it does about Garnacho. If your top young talent feels like staying is pointless, that your long-term project is shaky, and that he'll grow faster somewhere else, he's not wrong, he's honest. And honesty hurts. Chelsea will enjoy this win. United will pretend it doesn't bother them. But deep down, this quote is going to echo around Old Trafford for a long, long time. This isn't just a transfer story, it's a reality check.
Mohamed Salah absolutely exploded after the match against Leeds. Out of nowhere, he dropped a full emotional nuke on the first reporters he saw. Norwegian media caught everything on camera, while the Liverpool press officer behind him just stood there with his jaw on the floor. And the wildest part? Salah was smiling the whole time. This wasn't rage. This was planned. He said he still considers himself the Premier League's top scorer, that Erling Haaland hasn't taken the golden boot from him yet, and that he doesn't need to fight for his spot because he already earned it. Imagine him saying that to Klopp back in the day. Klopp would have evaporated him with one stare. Then he added that he has no relationship with Slot, that the club broke their promises, and that nobody protects him from criticism. Piers Morgan, who jumps on football drama ever since his interview with Cristiano Ronaldo, reacted instantly. Wow, maybe it's interview time. Unintentional or not, he basically hinted Salah is having his own Ronaldo moment. Fans are losing their minds. Some say Salah is completely detached from reality. Others think he just can't handle competition anymore. Because honestly, he hasn't been performing. He's not scoring, not pressing, not defending. When he was a machine, everyone ignored it. But now, this version doesn't guarantee a starting spot. Meanwhile, Arne Slot spent the entire season defending Salah. Even when he benched him, he spoke softly and respectfully. And what did he get in return? A knife right between the shoulder blades. And here's the cold truth. Liverpool's hierarchy values the coach more than any player. If they have to choose, Salah will be sold before Slot even breaks a sweat. Because following the demands of a fading superstar destroys culture, kills respect, and sabotages the next manager. There's also a growing rumor inside the dressing room that this meltdown didn't come out of nowhere. Some insiders claim younger players feel Salah gets special treatment and isn't always held to the same standards as everyone else. Others say this isn't the first time he's tried to pressure the club publicly to get what he wants. It's just the first time the whole thing exploded this dramatically. A few fans are even joking that this is the post-Klopp hangover, where old leaders can't accept the new hierarchy. And honestly, it really feels like Liverpool are heading toward a massive, season-defining decision. The worst part? The team isn't thinking about football anymore. They're thinking about Salah's drama. One interview, and the hero of Anfield suddenly looks like the villain of the whole season.
The crisis at Real Madrid just hit a new level. Spanish media are yelling in unison. Xabi Alonso is one step away from being sacked. And honestly, after that loss to Celta, it's hard to argue. Madrid didn't just lose the game, they handed it over on a silver plate. From the opening whistle, it felt like the team forgot they were supposed to compete. Zero movement, zero urgency, zero emotion. The entire attack looked like they were waiting for Mbappe to turn on ultimate difficulty hero mode and dribble past half the planet. But hey, this isn't a video game. The offense was lifeless. No runs, no combinations, no attempts to break defensive lines. Just pure, industrial-grade boredom. Thibaut Courtois kept screaming at the back line trying to wake them up, but nope, nothing worked. Vinicius, 11 straight matches without scoring. Rodrigo, somehow even worse. And then came the nightmare. Eder Militao got injured again. Early reports say he could be out for months. And now, Real have to face Manchester City in the Champions League without Militao, without Mendy, without Alaba, without Carvajal, and without Trent. That's not a squad list. That's a medical report. As for the referee, yeah, he melted down at the end. But the red cards? Totally on the players. Fran Garcia got himself sent off. Later, Alvaro Carreros also picked up a red for calling the ref terrible. Even Dani Carvajal got his words included in the match report. And to top it off, Endrick got a red from the bench. 1 La Liga game, 3 red cards. Peak comedy. Now here's the real bombshell. According to Spanish outlets, if Xabi Alonso gets fired, the interim coach will be Zinedine Zidane. Interim, because the club expects to bring in a new manager in the summer. And apparently Zidane himself is eyeing a national team job. Fans are absolutely cooking the team online. Memes everywhere. Some say Madrid look like they're still half asleep after the international break. Others are already packing Xabi Alonso's bags for him. On social media, people are calling this the worst real sight in years. And honestly, after this performance, it's hard to disagree. So, what's the verdict? Real Madrid deserved the loss. The team looks mentally drained. Xabi Alonso is standing on very thin ice. And the injury curse is officially out of control.
Arteta is hunting for gold again. But this time, it's not a superstar on the menu. It's a kid who still gets asked for ID when buying a Red Bull in France. Could Arsenal actually pull off the move for Bouaddi and build their next-generation midfield around him? Let's dive into the noise shaking North London right now. Arsenal have officially joined the battle for 18-year-old Lille sensation Bouaddi, and this might be more than just another young talent story. This move could reshape the club's entire long-term strategy. According to Arsenal station in TalkSport, the Gunners are pushing aggressively, trying to lock Bouaddi down before the competition wakes up. Lille have already tied him to a contract until 2029, which basically means pay big or don't even knock. ESPN also confirmed interest from several Champions League clubs. And here's the kicker. Bouaddi isn't just some promising midfielder. He can play as a 6, an 8, even a 10 in high-press systems. That's the kind of versatility clubs drool over. So chasing a young, press-resistant, technically clean midfielder makes perfect sense. He's not your usual flashy teenager. The kid reads space like he's been doing it for 20 years. Arteta loves molding players like Lego pieces for his system, and Bouaddi fits the blueprint almost too perfectly. Of course, there are risks. He hasn't played Premier League tempo every week. The physicality will hit him like a bus. But that's exactly how elite clubs build dynasties. Buy young, develop, dominate in 3 years. Journalists are calling this chase a fierce battle. Someone at Lille even said, "He's not for sale, unless you bring something impossible to refuse." Meanwhile, analysts at The Athletic are already predicting a future midfield trio of Odegaard, Bouaddi, and Rice. Sounds scary, doesn't it? My verdict? This could be a genius long-term move, not just hype. Arteta rarely goes chaotic with transfers. When he wants someone, it's usually for a very specific tactical purpose. Prediction? Arsenal are likely to drop a 45 to 55 million bid before January. If they don't move fast, someone else will. Simple as that. So tell me, is Bouaddi the next midfield machine or just another overhyped wonder kid?
PSG are back at it again, trying to steal Barcelona's brightest jewel. And this time, it's not a rumor about depth players or bench warmers. Paris are aiming straight at the crown, Lamine Yamal. Let's break it down. According to insiders around Paris, the club is preparing a massive rebuild of their attack. They want youth, explosiveness, star potential, and Yamal ticks every box. An 18-year-old winger with ridiculous dribbling, elite decision-making, and hype levels that could power a small country. PSG believe he could become their new long-term face after losing Mbappe. But Barcelona, they're not having it. They've slapped a monstrous price tag on him, over 200 million, basically screaming, "Don't even think about it." Inside the club, the message is simple: not for sale. Not this winter, not next summer, maybe not ever. Barcelona, on the other hand, are in full defensive mode. They finally have a once-in-a-decade wonder kid produced in-house. Losing him would be a disaster for the fans, for Hansi Flick's project, and for the club's pride. After years of chaos, they finally found their gem. They won't give it away. Now let's talk analysis. PSG can afford anything. If they want to pay 200, 250, 300 million, they can. But money isn't the biggest issue. Yamal wants to be Barcelona's new icon. The kid isn't chasing contracts, he's chasing legacy. And Barca are protecting him with a mega contract, huge release clause, and a clear development plan built around him. But here's the danger. PSG can still try to tempt him with a salary Barcelona simply cannot match. If they push hard enough, they might turn the kid's head, and that's exactly what worries Barca right now. The reactions? Barcelona fans are freaking out. PSG fans are dreaming, and the boardrooms in both cities are on full alert. My verdict? A realistic transfer? Not this winter, probably not next summer either. But football is football. Things can change fast. My prediction? PSG keep trying. Barcelona fight back, and Yamal stays put unless Barca collapse this season. So what do you think? Will Yamal ever leave Barca for PSG, or is he staying forever? And that's it for today, folks. Drop your thoughts in the comments, smash that like button, and make sure you're subscribed to Top League. Big stories, bigger vibes. See you in the next one.